Hello everyone, it is me, GamePenguin21, and today, well, it's another week, another batch of salt to talk about this time. Now, I know that there's a lot of stuff talking about going there, mainly with things like SBI, and there's like a Joker thing running around, and a whole other stuff, but I'm not really going to here to be covering that, because PlayStation Fanboys decided to be a good idea to talk about this supposed Xbox leak that was of the next generation, or the next iteration of the digital-only Xbox Series S, that's X, not S, the X that is supposed to be released sometime in the near future. There was a few leaks of these online, and there was some official promo material, so it looks like this seems to be the case. But there's a lot to talk about here, because there's a lot of people out here who are basically deciding, well, this thing is already garbage because it's just the Xbox Series S with no disk drive. I mean, if you're a PlayStation guy, you really don't have much to talk about, because not only do you get a diskless version of the PlayStation, like the base PlayStation, but PlayStation Pro is not going to come with a disk drive, and you can get it separately for money. So you don't really have much room to talk. But anyway, let's actually just start talking about this, because quite honestly, there's a lot of tweets to get through. But first, of course, I gotta do a little bit of the shill. Looking to hit 1K by the end of the year, please, and thank you. I do love every one of you that is here right now. We're closing in, I think, on 900, so that's pretty good. But I really would like to hit that 1K, at least by the end of the year, please, and thank you. I love you all. Number 2, I stream most of the weekends on Twitch. Make sure that you follow me over there, twitch.tv/GamePenguin21. And number 3, any of my music and things that I do make in my spare time, that's all on the channel, as well as all in the description below. I might actually start thinking about making a new music channel, so I can post just a ton of my music over there and stuff. Maybe, maybe not, unsure. But let's get started, shall we? Starting off, of course, with Tipster, who basically just decided to make fun of this, where the Wario64 decided to he retweeted Wario64 and said, "So the mid-gen refresh for Xbox, what a joke." It's not. They didn't say it was a mid-gen refresh. They just said that this is the all-digital Xbox Series X that they're going to be releasing, which, I mean, that's what they talked about. Next up, of course, we got Unleashed with Xbox Fanboys. We are not the same. With the same trash console with no superior specs, newer tech, 33 teraflops, supreme ray tracing, properly upscaled PSSR with the whole meme there. You don't know. I don't know if they even released the specs for it, but it's like, okay, but the PS5 Pro also doesn't have I don't know if it comes with the disc drive or not. I thought there was like an all digital thing, and you had to buy the disc drive separately, or is that just like me going in crazy because I've watched so much PlayStation Fanboy Salt? Okay, interesting. But next up, we got the PlayStation Profit NYC with breaking news: all images of the all digital Xbox Series X has leaked ahead of the summer release. It's reported to be cheaper than the current Series X and will have more SSD storage space. PlayStation fanboys are outraged, but they had totally forgot that there's also an all-digital PS5, and that's kind of true. One of the interesting things about this is that if they do add some more SSD storage space, because they got rid of the disk drive for whatever reason, it's fine. Like, you know, if you want more storage, boom, more storage, and it's actually cheaper than the original Xbox Series X with the disk drive. And again, it's interesting to me that the whole PlayStation guys are like, oh, well, we're actually going to get a good mid-gen refresh and stuff, whereas Xbox is just going to continue to do what Xbox does and release this console for people who only want the all-digital version, but don't want to buy an Xbox Series S for a lower-powered experience. So, I mean, pros and cons there, I guess. And again, all digital PlayStation 5, anyone? While Sony is getting up to release a new 33 teraflop PS5 Pro, aiming for 4K and even 8K gaming, Xbox will be responding by releasing this ugly all-white digital Series X, but that has no games. Huh? Huh? What do you... Okay, hold on. So they're releasing the Xbox Digital Series X, right? It's named the same, it has the same operating system, it's the same console, just without the disk drive. But you're saying that there's going to be, quote, no games on it. You do realize that this will most likely have access to Xbox Game Pass, giving you all of their digital things on Xbox Game Pass. You do also realize that it will be able to connect to the Xbox Store, giving you all of the games on the Xbox Store. So, just no physical games? Which Xbox and PlayStation, by the way, have been moving away from physical games. Also, isn't it weird how the PlayStation 5 Pro is promising 4K and 8K, yet the PlayStation 4 base model failed to deliver on 8K gaming and even struggled to deliver 4K gaming at a reasonable frame rate? Very weird. Very weird. Next up, we've got Excision here, who I'm going to make fun of because I just find it interesting, where he says, breaking, I told you, as soon as Xbox ported a few exclusives to the PS5, Sony starts doing the same, where you can get Predator Hunting Grounds coming to the Xbox Series X and S, and PlayStation 5 late 2024, where it says that the publisher of this is the PlayStation Studios Interactive. And the platforms that it currently exists on are PlayStation 4 and Microsoft Windows. Now, I find this interesting because, yeah, certainly it is a game published by Sony that is going to maybe possibly be coming to the Xbox Series X and S, and it's going to be available probably cross-platform. Maybe they're doing this with a smaller project, much like Xbox is currently doing as well, but unsure if this was... Well, it looks like it was released in 2020, but the game itself wasn't that popular. But again, that's still an interesting, positive, but weird development. I don't know why they're not putting any marketing behind this. Maybe they are. People just don't want to see it. But yeah, anyway, back to the Gaming Prophet NYC, saying that it's crazy seeing PlayStation fanboys and the gaming media critique the all-white digital Series X. It's like they totally forgot that Sony released an all-digital PS5 in the 2020s, like they live in a different reality. Now again, I don't disagree with that entirely, but again, like they actually released like an all-black version of the PlayStation 5. They've released other covers for the PlayStation 5 and stuff. But at the same time, yes, when it originally released, everyone was making fun of the fact that the PlayStation 5 looked totally like a what's his name's thing from Yu-Gi-Oh, like his shirt, which I find just the most hilarious. But also, going over to the Xbox era thing, because I knew that this was going to be a fun thing to talk about, saying that the Series X Digital will you be picking one up, showing off, I believe this is some of the marketing material, the marketing rendering that they managed to have, where Jason responded with Microsoft, we are going to release two different consoles, one digital, vastly underpowered, and the other one a disc version, but it's a beast. 4 years later, we are releasing a digital version of our disc console because no one asked for it. No, I think people did ask for it. It's just that the thing with the Series S is that was made for a different market than the Series X was. So they must have realized that PlayStation releasing an all-digital version as well as a disc version, they were able to get both of those consoles and get the amount of sales to say, hey, we sold a lot of PlayStation 5s. But the thing is that that's kind of a good marketing move. And not the best, absolutely. Like, people who wanted an Xbox Series X with the thing, got a disc drive on the side, which is fine. But again, releasing this is kind of a midpoint. It's like having a medium popcorn. Like, you're still getting popcorn, but you're not getting as much popcorn as you would have gotten if you were to spend more money. That's, like, interesting that a lot of people do that. They did, like, a psychological experiment thing, and that's a weird comparison to make, absolutely. But at the same time, they're most likely releasing this to capture the people who have not bought an Xbox Series X or S, or the people who want an S but want to upgrade to a Series X but don't want the disc drive or don't want to spend more money or can't spend the money. It's very odd that you bring that up because, again, PlayStation also has a digital version that they released. Someone then by the name of Simon B79 says, "Nope, all of my hashtag consoles are black, including the PS5, which was released as a white console." I don't know what to tell you, Chief, but congratulations, you have a preference for a specific shade. It's not technically a color, so just saying. Next up, we've got Luke Wee, I guess. He says, "I'm not much of a console war person, but Xbox needs to stop making consoles, or at least clear out the entire team in charge marketing." I think in charge of marketing was a little bit of a mistype there. Now, I love the fact that this is just really fucking hilarious. The person's like, "Oh, I'm not much of a console warrior," and then goes on to say the most console warrior type thing that I've heard. And, I mean, it's not great, but it's not like it's not a great look, but, like, it's not the worst thing, I should say. It's just really funny to me how the person's like, you could hear the but in that statement being like, "I don't really like much of a console warriors, but I do this for a job." But yeah, I don't really think that Xbox is going to stop making consoles, or even really needs to stop making consoles. Like, that's just stupid. That's just dumb. Why are you... No. But of course, there's also one other little thing that I wanted to talk about at the tail end of this video, because of course we were talking about PlayStation, guys, and it has been announced, at least as of last week by the TGA, that that day was the day that it marks the end of Jim Ryan's 30-year run at PlayStation, where he's going to enjoy his retirement. Now, from me, personally, congratulations, Jim Ryan. You did a great job working at Sony for a long time. You brought a lot of interesting games and things to a lot of people over the course of your 30 years at that company. I don't hold any ill will towards you, even though I might criticize you and criticize your business practices. That's more of just happy, middling criticism because of reasons. Not a PlayStation fanboy, not an Xbox fanboy. I don't give a shit. I respect and understand when you did good, but I critique you when you did bad, standard practices and stuff. But Nicola here says, "The man who killed Xbox." My ears started ringing because of that exact statement. Yikes. But of course, I had to go through this entire TGA thing to just see some of the comments, and I was not disappointed by the Red Dragon here saying, "Jim Ryan will be remembered as a man who made Phil Spencer and Xbox bend the knee and forced them to turn third party." No, I really don't think that that's the case. I think that Microsoft was clearly able to, open up their bounds and be a better company overall, because they had some pretty stiff competition. At least, that's how I see it, in my opinion. Again, I don't really give a shit, but I can respect and understand that Xbox had to kind of maneuver around PlayStation, because Xbox thought, "Oh, we're going to try to be a multi-thing and try to be as innovative as possible." And then PlayStation was like, "No, we're just going to make games and things." It's like, okay. You can kind of see why one is successful and the other one's not. Plus, Xbox is pretty successful on the other side. Next up, we have Chill saying, "The ship needs a bit of a course correction right now, but you can't deny he's kept PlayStation at the best place to play alongside Nintendo with an O Captain My Captain." I don't really think that you should be bringing Dead Poet Society in on this actual console war. Like, it's just, that movie is too good to be used in a console war type setting. So, no. I do agree with your statement, though, that at least he has kept PlayStation in a better position than they could have been in some times. But again, they had lost, like, $10 million and had to cut like 2% of their whole workforce. But again, it's fine. I mean, and you did a good job. I can respect that at least. Next up, we have a thanks Jim from Tony with a collectible Jim Ryan bobblehead. I mean, to each their own. I bought some weird merch in my time, but that just seems a little creepy to me. I don't know why. Having a bobblehead of like a CEO just seems a little creepy to me. And then we also get into the duality of man section of this video, where we have Altier with a salute emoji of 30 years at Sony, where he retired in first place, where Microsoft said Xbox has been losing the console wars since 2001, which that's a very opinionated article that, I mean, I don't even know if that's true, but whatever. And then we have the people here who is like hashtag Pashwatch with a rip bozo, and I'm not sure whether to take that as one way or take that as the other way in this whole console war thing, saying like Jim Ryan leaving is a good thing, or Jim Ryan leaving is a good thing, or I'm so confused as to why you did that. I thought that this was more, Xbox being happy about people leaving, but this one's definitely about Xbox people happy that Jim Ryan is leaving, where it says, "This got me," saying the last of Jim, with the Sony hat being like crying and stuff and then leaving, which I think is the funniest thing in the world. Like the PlayStation people kind of doing that and respecting Jim Ryan to be leaving, but still kind of using him for the console war, in my opinion, is just the funniest shit. Where it's like, on the one hand, it's good that they're respecting his retirement. On the other hand, I still don't like the fact that they're using him for the whole thing. But I think we'll end this on a more of a funnier note here, and that being Mr. S-Class Gamer himself. So, Mr. F-Class Gamer decided to start a new series on his channel, where he's going to try to introduce salt content into his channel. Oh boy, let's look at this. But the tweet that he did in this said, "Let me start off in this new series about to break down those bots one at a time. The cope must be analyzed, broken down, and corrected. First up, Dirt Gritty Roblox Extraordinaire." I have never even heard of this man in my entire life. Not Mr. S-Class Gamer. He is like a loud man. But I've never heard of Dirt Gritty. I've never heard of him. But I find it really funny that he's, again, it's trying to, it's like watching a toddler, like, look at a lollipop and try to like snatch it out of a kid's hand, but the other kid just like slaps him across the face for whatever reason, where he's going after a Roblox extraordinaire, I guess, in accordance to him. I don't know, but like, don't do this. Your content is already bad. Don't do this. But let's check out the video then, shall we? Oh, he got a copyright strike from. Huh. To be fair, just so you understand the context of that, I do live in America, and I tried to do this at least a couple times, and it seems like the video got blocked because of a copyright strike. And you can also see here, via the replies, where Mr. King Thrash says, "Damn, it was too good for TV. I'll drop a toned down version, lol." It wasn't even up for like an hour. Like, I this was 12 hours after the fact, and I looked at the dates and I looked at the times. The first tweet was about within the 12-hour window as well. So, yeah, at 12 a.m., it didn't even seem to have lasted an hour. So, whoops. Yeah, and I think that will end it off there. In any case, that was your daily dose of salt, I guess. So, to recap the episode of this whole thing, Xbox is releasing an all-digital Xbox Series X, and the PlayStation people seem to be a little bit upset about it. Jim Ryan is going to enjoy his retirement and be absolutely fun, and a PlayStation guy trying to do salt content decided to get clapped by the copyright system on YouTube. unsure if it was real copyright system, but knowing the dumbness of PlayStation guys, I wouldn't put it past them. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching this episode of I Yell Into a Microphone and Talk About Twitter, which is probably unhealthy for my mental health. And, again, 1K subscriber by the end of the year. Twitch.tv/GamePango21 and all the other stuff. I do enjoy it and love your company, and I love all of you. Thank you so much for watching. Again, my name is GamePango21, and a peace. Off.